Hello everyone, welcome back to our class. So this time, look at my frame. I have here hearts. Of course, I want to greet everyone. Happy Hearts Day. Happy Hearts Month. So we'll be discussing conditional statements. We're now in the second quarter, week 5 of our discussion. Of course, with me, Teacher Lei. And as an introduction, I want to present to you the definition of collinear points, which implies the following two sentences. We have here, if points are collinear, then they lie on the same line. And if points lie on the same line, then they are collinear. That's the definition of collinear points. Okay? Take note of that. And now, given these sentences, we got these if and then sentences. If you notice, it started with if and then the second clause is started with then. If then sentences, we call this as conditional statements. Okay? Conditional statements is also called, or it is written in the form if then form. So the portion of the sentence which if or following if is called the, we have here, points are collinear. The sentence or portion of the sentence followed by following if. So we have points lie on the same line. We call this as the hypothesis. Take note of that. And the portion of the sentence following then, we have they lie on the same um, line and then they are collinear. We call this as conclusion. So we have hypothesis and conclusion in our conditional statements or in the if-then form of the statement. Now, here are some examples of conditional statements. We have, if the lines are parallel, then they do not intersect. Second, if it rains, then the sports fest will be cancelled. So, if two angles are right angles, then they are right angles. If a shape is a triangle, then it is a polygon. If a number is even, then it is divisible by 2. So these are the examples of conditional statements. So now, we have here, if you have, if you want a healthy cat, start with healthy kitten. So as you notice, in the conditional statement shown, the word has, then it has been omitted. We only have if. If you want a healthy cat, instead of having then start with the healthy kitten, it has been omitted. So why? So conditional statements do not always appear in if-then form. Take note of this. Conditional statements do not always appear in if-then form. Example, all geniuses are left-handed. So this is also a conditional statement. But, as you notice, there is no if and then. So it does not always appear in if-then form. It can be written in variety ways such as, what else? Being a genius implies you are left-handed. So meaning, you can add or omit words in our statements, in our conditional statements, as long as the thought is there. Okay? We're not changing the thought. So being a genius implies you are left-handed, or it can be written as you are a genius only if you are left-handed. So the same. All geniuses are left-handed. If we're going to write it in the if-then form, this will be uh, the statement or the sentence. If you are a genius, then you are left-handed. So, did you get it? So later on, we'll have conditional statements and you're going to rewrite it into if-then form. So how about identifying the hypothesis and conclusion? You are a genius. The portion of the sentence following if is the hypothesis and our conclusion is you are left-handed. Okay? So now, conditional statements are basis of a branch of mathematics called logic. So why? In logic, the hypothesis is often represented by the letter P. Take note of that. Denoted or represented by letter P, the hypothesis, and the conclusion is represented by letter Q. And since they are represented by these letters, we can write it into this. The conditional, if P, then Q. Or if the hypothesis, then conclusion. It is written in symbols as P implies Q. Yes, it is read or often read as P implies Q. That the hypothesis implies something as for the conclusion. So P implies Q. Okay? Get it? Let's move on. We're going to rewrite the statement in if-then form. Example, students who are good in mathematics are smart. Do you agree with this? I do. Yes, because there is the so-called multiple intelligence. Okay, intelligences. So therefore, if you're good in one subject in one area, you are smart in that area. Okay, so this doesn't mean you're not good. It doesn't mean of being smart to be good in all areas. No, you have the so-called multiple intelligences. Anyway, so in here, as you can see, so here it is. So notice our hypothesis will be students who are good in mathematics, and our conclusion will be this part. Students are smart. So if we're going to rewrite it in this if then form, it will be looks like if students are good in mathematics, then they are smart. So no need to repeat students. So you just use a pronoun they. Okay, if students are good in mathematics, then they are smart. So another example, a triangle is a polygon. So here, if you think of it, how are you going to write this into if-then form? So we can think of the category where a triangle fall or belongs to. So here it is, a triangle that will be our hypothesis, and then a polygon will be our conclusion. So a triangle is a shape, and if the shape is a triangle, then it is a polygon. So this is our if-then form. So where did I get shape? You think of the category where the given object or thing falls under to or belongs to. So it is under the category of shape. So if a shape is a triangle, then it is a polygon. Okay? So last example. The sum of angles forming linear pair is 180 degrees. Okay, so look at this. I have here angles forming a linear pair as my hypothesis, and the sum of angles is 180 degrees. That will be my conclusion. So meaning if two angles or if angles form a linear pair, then their sum is 180 degrees. Okay, so that will be our if then form. If the angles form a linear pair, then their sum is 180 degrees. Okay, and of course, your turn. So try to rewrite the statement in if-then form. There is at least one plane that contains a line and a point not on the line. So think of it. I will not show the answer. You may comment down below or you may send it to me personally. What is your answer to this? Okay? And that will be all. I hope you learned something for this lesson. So fighting. Bye.